This video is brought to you by my LV monochrome preset pack. Thank you so much to everybody who has picked them up and helped support this channel. Hey, what's up? My name's Lucas. I am a photographer and filmmaker based out of West Michigan. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking you through my perfect Leica kit, and it really covers me from film to video to photography, professional and personal everyday carry. So I'm covered across the board on everything with this kit. So let's jump right into it because I have a feeling that I could ramble on about these cameras all day. So I wanted to start at the beginning. This was my first Leica camera and really is what launched me into a love for Leica cameras. And it is the Leica M6. This is one of those cameras. It had been a bucket list camera for me, and I was not even considering the Leica system apart from this camera until I bought this camera, if that makes sense. So I bought this camera from a friend. I grabbed coffee with him, and he was showing me this specific camera. I'm like, man, I love that. I've always wanted to have a Leica M6. That's kind of like one of my bucket list cameras. And he's like, hey, I'll let you know if I ever sell it. And a little bit later, he messaged me on Instagram. And he's like, hey, I'm ready to sell my M6. And basically, it was one of those situations where I'm like, if I didn't get it, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. I'm still shooting Canon at that point, have never used a rangefinder, and I just kind of jumped in. So picked up a Voigtlander 35mm lens for it, and I just jumped in, feet blazing, shooting roll after roll after roll in this thing, and man, I couldn't get enough. I really quickly fell in love with the rangefinder experience, and I found myself really addicted to using this camera. Not even at that time for stuff that most people use this camera for. I was using this as my everyday carry. A lot of people associate this with street photography, and I was just anything I could shoot with it, I would shoot with it. I'd take it on hikes, I'd take it on walks with my family to the ice cream, everything. If I was leaving the house, this was on me. A lot of times it still is, and I really just wanted to find a camera that could fit this bill because I've always loved taking pictures. I've always loved having a camera on me, but it always felt like work, and this was the first camera that just felt so different for me. I wanted to find something that would give me an excuse to start getting really nice Leica glass. At that time, I couldn't justify spending the money for a 28 Summicron or a 50 Summilux because it could only go on this camera. And that's something that is going to be kind of a consistent theme with this kit is I like things that work across the board. I invested in cameras that I can use, apart from my SL lenses, I can use every piece on each camera, which I think is pretty great. My M6 was really what got my feet wet into Leica photography, and I really wanted to just keep that going, keep that experience of shooting like this going. So I started doing research, and some things that I need in a camera, in a professional camera, is high quality video, high quality stills, and it's got to be fast for both of them. So I landed on the Leica SL2S, which I am actually using to film this video right now. I'll just kind of group the SL2 and the SL2S into both of these cams. So picked up the SL2S, and immediately I was like, there's something different about this. There's something really unique and special about this camera. I didn't grab any SL glass right off the bat because, like I said about the M6, what I really wanted was a modular system, something that I could use on everything. And so instead of getting the Leica glass, I bought the Leica M to L adapter, so I'd be able to use all of my M lenses on my SL. This with my 50 Summilux and my SL2S basically what I ran with for a long time, and my Leica R lenses, but we'll touch on those a little bit later. They kind of glue everything together, which I love. That was really the main point. I wanted to have a camera system that I could shoot film and digital on that was just kind of seamless. So I picked up the SL2S first because the SL2S had better video specs for what I need it for, and it's got better low light performance, which were all things that I really needed. Also, I find 24 megapixel sensors to be kind of the sweet spot for me, but that's kind of beside the point because the SL2, I mean, I love it. Always wanted to get both of them. The thing that I love about the SL2S is it's basically my workhorse. I shoot almost everything on it, and then my SL2 is my backup to it, and also I scan all of my film with it. It's been a great addition to my kit. I still had this issue of every day because while all of that was going on, while I was getting all that, I'm still using my M6 every single day and shooting a lot of film, and film prices just keep getting higher and higher, and I'm like, man, I really love this camera. I love this experience. I tried a few other options. Like at one point my everyday carry was a Contax T2, which I got to the point of being like, if I'm gonna be shooting film, I'm gonna shoot on my M6 because it's better glass and it's a better experience. And so I sold that, bought a X100V. I'm like, my everyday carry, I just wanted to be compact, not have to worry a lot about editing. The X100V did a great job for me. I really like that camera, and sometimes I miss that camera. Ultimately wanted to edit my photos, and so I figured at the end of the day, it would be better for me to sell a couple cameras and get the Leica M10. So I already had the lenses, I already had everything that I needed, and now I had a digital camera to put my Leica R lenses on. You can shoot Leica R lenses on your film M cameras, but the thing is it doesn't adjust your focal flange, so you can't really tell focus unless you're using live view. So the thing with the M10 for me is it has been an awesome camera. I now carry this everywhere I go. It's the closest to a film Leica that you can get without actually shooting on a film Leica, in my opinion. I did rent the Leica M11 monochrome, and I really enjoyed that, although way out of my budget. Yeah, I've been really enjoying the M10, and I feel like this kind of is my sweet spot for my cameras. I wish I could have like a table or something I could set everything on. Maybe in my office rebuild, I'll be able to do that. Let's talk about the situations that I use all of these cameras in. So any commercial work is going through my SL2S or my SL2. Any client work really is going through both of those cameras. I've shot commercials on them, I've shot weddings on them, I've shot music videos, I've shot side by side with my works Red Komodos, I've shot documentaries with them. They have just been really rock solid cameras for me, but there are a few quirks like the slow autofocus. The battery life isn't incredible, but it's fine. Then all of my personal work happens on the M10, and all of my film work happens on the M6, obviously, because it's the only film camera. But a lot of times they end up just coming with me all together because they all do work so well together. It's really quite a seamless process. I just find that these are really fitting all of the boxes that I need them to be in. You'll notice I don't have a queue. Would be really cool, would be a fun everyday carry camera, but it's not the top of my priority. But if somebody wants me to test one out and wants to send me one, I'd be more than happy to try one. The biggest issue that I run into is traveling. So I've gone on a few trips with this kit. When I went to Israel, I really pared it down. I really pared it down. The only camera I didn't bring was my M10, and I brought my SL2 as a backup because I was doing video work there for my job, and the SL2S was the main camera that I was shooting on, and if that went down, I'd need a backup, so I brought the SL2, or else that probably would have stayed home. So I had my SL2S as the main camera, and then my M6 as my main photos camera. So I shot photo and video on my SL2S, and then don't say anything, but my SL2 was in a bag in my hotel room along with some of my lenses. So real big risk that I ran there. Worked out for me. And unfortunately, that's kind of been the trend when I'm traveling. I'll have an M6 and my SL2S, and then the SL2 is just kind of like an awkward camera that's like, what do I use it for? Then on my road trip with my dad, I actually traded my M10 for one of my friends, Josh Rexford. Check out his channel if you are interested in that. He also does YouTube videos. Traded my M10 for his M6 so I could shoot black and white and color simultaneously. So I had two M6s, my SL2S doing video, and then my SL2 just doing kind of like BTS content, like photos on the side, which was totally overkill. But again, it was kind of like my dad was making fun of me because he's like, look at you and all your cameras. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I could have probably just kept my SL2 at home and done the photo and video stuff with the SL2S, but it's fine. Maybe I'll learn from there. But that's it. So if you're still watching, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know if you've got any questions down in the comments. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does make a huge difference. And I'll see you in the next video.